Okay, moving on to topic 2. We have another debut, another Produce 48 group. We have Fanatics and their debut single album, The Six. I don't know if it's a mini or a single. It's
I don't know.
3 songs because it's 4 songs, but one of them is a Chinese version of their like pre-debut subunit song. So,
like we need to sort of like make. Like
to
whoever,
me,
we need to make like the council on what counts as a mini album and what counts as an album.
To me, it's 4 or less as a single album, 5 to like 7 is a mini album, and 8 is
plus.
Up.
Yeah, because there's some like 8 plus.
But there are some 8 song mini albums, and there are some 4 song single, or like it's all over the place.
Yeah, like we need to set like hard rules here because this is getting way out of hand at this point.
I mean, it's basically mini albums for some reason can be anywhere from 4 to 8 songs, which like 4 is not enough for a mini album to me, and 8 is too many. So like, it should. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, no, we need to be the ones like we need to talk to like all of the music companies to like establish these rules so that they stop getting away with this nonsense.
Yep. So you have like some info about them first?
Yeah. So, Fanatics is another 6. I don't know why 6 is the popular number these days. Because I mean, Fanatics is 6. Rocket Punch is 6. Everglow is 6. I mean, granted, who knows if Rocket Punch will stay 6 with and B and Cheon potentially on the way. But anyway, like 6 seems to be like the magic number for girl groups lately. So they are a 6-member girl group under Fent. I don't know how to pronounce it. Fent Entertainment. I really have no idea who they were before Produce 48. I still have no idea who they are. I think they sent some Produce X101 members, but again, just kind of a low key type of label. So yeah, as Nate mentioned, in 2018 they debuted a subunit of Flavor entitled Fanatics, which had Doa. Chiai. Oh god, I don't know how. She's Chinese.
Oh yeah, their names are hard to pronounce.
Yes, sorry. Something like that. Chiai and Yunhye. Yeah, they put out a song Milkshake. So yeah, it was just like half of the members. I think the initial plan. We talked about and release this. Yeah, the initial plan was they were going to do a subunit with that. They were going to do another subunit with the other 3 members, and then they would do the Fanatics debut. But I think they might have either canceled it or like plans changed or something. But yeah, they decided to go ahead with the full debut of the 6-member group. So Fanatic is Shika, who is a half Japanese, half Chinese member. She trained at JYP alongside J Line. She was sort of like the leader of their. She was like they had like a whole like group of like Japanese members, and she was sort of like in that group sort of thing. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. You also have Cherin, who was on Produce 101 Season 1, but she got eliminated like 87th or something like that. The only stage I saw she was on Push Push. So like
I mean, maybe if I saw pictures of her performance, I might remember. But,
there's some stuff out there. Yeah, like there's like the focus camera of her, but yeah,
she got left at got kicked out in the first round.
Yeah, she was out in
those people because there's too many people to remember.
Yeah, especially that far back, like 2016. Like it's hard enough to remember the people that get eliminated like in the second or third round of eliminations. So there's Doe, not Doa. That's really confusing. There's Doa and there's Doe.
That was a really bad idea. One of them should have a stage name.
Yeah.
Their names are too close.
And Doe, I'm sorry, it has to be Doe because everyone knows who Doa is, unfortunately. So
yeah. Also, Doey is just a dumb name. if you think about it in American words, like it's a dumb name. She's like Doey.
Oh. There's Chai. She's Chinese, so it's like Chewy. So just crazy pronunciations. There's Yunhye, who's also another former JYP trainee, and then you have Doa, Kim Doa, aka the rap goddess of Produce 48. Definitely made her name in that one for looking like Sohye, and two for
she looks like Sohye.
Yeah, two for being in the do group where with Sakura and doing the rap part. So she was the rapper that didn't forget her lines.
Yes, but she was the one who didn't make it into the final group.
Yeah, that sucks. Oops. Anyway, so yeah, that's Fanatics. So Nate, take it away.
Yeah, so if you enjoy this group, I'm sorry, but we're getting there. We're going to start off with their debut Sunday, their debut single. So it's called Sunday. I like the instrumentals during the verses. I like the driving piano, keeping the piano beat mixed with some good synths. But I do not like the singing during the pre-chorus and the chorus. It's way too repetitive, but it's not catchy repetitive. It's just obnoxious repetitive.
Kiss me like a Sunday. That's the only sort of interesting part of this.
Yeah, well, and then there's the Toyo ill part. Yo ill, yo ill. They just repeat that over and over again. For a
good 15 seconds.
Which is Sunday. I got my days mixed up. But yeah, it's just too repetitive, and it's not catchy repetitive. It's not like Red Velvet red catchy repetitive. It's just annoying repetitive. And then similar to a Rocket Punch, some of the members definitely need some more vocal training.
Yep.
It's pretty rough, and the big thing for me that I notice is there's just very little feeling in their singing. There's very little emotion and feeling. It just feels like they're just there to do it, and they're just doing whatever. They're just doing it. It's not they're not putting any effort into it. If that makes sense. I mean, that part of that might just be that because the lyrics are repetitive, that they just already kind of they don't really match the need for putting a lot of feeling into the song, but there could have been more. And I think the drop for the chorus is fine, but it's nothing special. It's very generic. And the one thing is the high-pitched baby synth got pretty obnoxious, actually. That usually doesn't bother me at all. But in this song, for some reason, it got to the point where it bothered me.
It seems kind of gratuitous and unnecessary, considering just how high-pitched their voices are already. You don't need a baby synth on top of that.
Well, and it's really loud, too. It's really, it's the most prominent part of the instrumentals, and I'm this is too much. As for the music video, it's a girl group music video. I would say I think I like it more than Rocket Punches.
How?
But barely. Because they're both the same thing. They're both just generic girl group music videos with nothing going on. But this one doesn't have a dumb CG cheetah in it. But and there wasn't any styling that stood out to me as being bad.
But none of the styling stood out to me, period. So it's
well, yeah. Yeah. I guess it evens out in that case.
Yeah.
I think it wins out only because of the CG cheetah or whatever. That's the only reason.
It wins out because it's so boring. It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Or Rocket Punch had good styling and bad styling that evened out to mediocre styling. This just had mediocre styling.
That's the most backhanded compliment I've ever you could probably give. Whatever. You're so boring. Fine. It's not egregious.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Where Rocket Punch had good parts. This is just a music video. The choreography, Rocket Punch wins by a landslide. For this song, the choreography is whatever. Nothing stood out to me. It was fine. It wasn't bad, but it was fine. It was just... But yeah, overall, I think the song, it wasn't great. Which, if you listen to our thoughts on Milkshake in releases, you could see this going down a path that that led to this, where I think this is better than Milkshake, but that's not really hard to do. And
some parts of it I like better, maybe. But
we'll get to that. But overall, I didn't really like it. I don't think this is a song I would listen to again. Really,
I'm surprised because I thought you'd like it a bit more. Well, because I looked up who made this song, and this is like the same person behind like "Red on the Wind" and like all these other Card songs. So I thought, oh no, slam dunk.
Yeah, but
it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. But
yeah, but like Card. I think Card has the novelty of being a co-ed group, so you get the mixture of
the
like
only thing saving them.
Well, and you get like the mixture of like the female singers and the male rappers, and like it adds an element of interest to it.
Yeah, where this is there's
nothing interesting about it.
There's no vocal texture at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably. Like, for as catchy, I didn't find the chorus.
Ride on the Wind is probably their worst song. So.
Yeah, so, I mean, this sounds a lot like Ride on the Wind in all honesty.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say, like, I didn't find the chorus as annoying, I mean, or as, like, repetitive. Like, I found it catchy, like the Kiss Me Like a... I don't know what Kiss Me Like a Sunday means. What is it supposed to mean? Like...
Well, like... And it's not like they're, because you could argue it's like, oh, they're saying like talking about like a ice cream sundae, but like that.
Why are you kissing your ice cream?
Well, no, but like, because like you're eating the ice cream or whatever. But like even if you they aren't talking about it like that because they keep repeating Ilio which is Sunday, like the day Sunday.
Yeah.
So like,
and it's spelled Sunday, not Sundae. So
yeah, but sometimes people. That's true. Yeah, the spelling too. I didn't think about that.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if you could figure out what the meaning of like "Kiss Me Like a Sundae" is, please let us know in the comments because I'm at a loss. I'd say sort of again, maybe it's not fair to the group if somebody came in without expectations, but again, having that prior knowledge of who Kim Do was, what she's capable of, she definitely had like a very wide-ranging sort of showcases, because I mean she went from like ooh-ah to da-da-da-da-da to freaking Rollin', which is like the cutesiest. Like Rollin's probably the closest song in terms of like comparative to whatever Fanatics is doing. It's just she kicked ass when she did her rap line in da-da-da-da. Like that was probably like the highlight of it, and for her not to be rapping at all on this entire album.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, like pretty much like the saving grace for this group is Kim Do's name recognition, and for them not to sort of lean into that in terms of stylistic choice, I feel is a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I'd say, because something like this. Granted, there's a lot of like girl crush groups or just like teen crush or whatever, like ITZY type of groups. But I mean, I feel like you can get away with it for how much I enjoyed Doa's like rapping style. And granted, okay, you don't, and even with like those type of songs, you don't necessarily need to be amazing at singing. So maybe they should think about doing that more, because I feel like it's kind of letting Doa go to waste. And I mean, I know there's other members, but I feel like she's the one I care about the most, being a Produce 48 trainee. So I don't want to see her sort of have her, potential being wasted like this. Yeah, I'd say in general, it's just super safe, super boring, very much like I don't know. Maybe just because, again, with Kim Do, I thought like I had expectations of, maybe they'll do like a Wiki Mickey type of. If they did like a Wiki Mickey style of sound, I would love this group like immediately.
Yeah,
just because
I think this group would have fit that better,
as opposed to this, sort of fake tropical house type of sound. I don't know. I mean, like, again, with the video, I really have nothing to say in terms of either choreography or styling. It's just to the point of not being memorable at all. I mean, hey, the one thing I did like though is like there's that thing in the music video where they all have like their own name tags that they're like fighting or whatever. I'm just like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I liked exactly and that's why I think it's a little bit better than Rock Bottom, because something happened in it.
Name tag beats CG Cheetah. Just slightly. Yeah, it's a good idea for the for people to sort of get familiar with who's
learn their names and stuff.
Yeah, because sometimes new Goose debut and I'm just like, who the hell is this? Especially with like even with people I know, because like the hairstyles change and everything. So yeah, it's definitely a good reference for people that have no familiarity with the group at all. So
yep. Next we have Remember. So for me, I liked the build during the first verse, but I was kind of disappointed because it built to the pre-chorus, but then the pre-chorus just kind of like happened. It didn't drop.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of like went back down to nothing and then like started building again to the chorus. And I was like, that was like really weird and just left me like it felt like it didn't resolve. It just sat there and like it reset basically instead of actually dropping or keeping the build going. And like once again, I like the verse instrumentals. There's like strings mixed with like some synthy bass and like some melodic synths. But like it just leads into another drop chorus that wasn't really needed. And I think the chorus instrumentals, like the drop chorus instrumentals, are a little much for this type of song. It just overpowers the song. And it just didn't really feel needed. And yeah, and then once again, I think the singing was fine, but they definitely need more work and they need like more feeling, especially in this type of song. It feels flat. Like it just feels emotionless. And this type of song is supposed to be the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very
like
emotional.
A sentimental, like emotional song. So yeah, it definitely fell flat for me.
Yeah, because I know what they're going after. They're going after this like sort of mid-tempo-y, emotional type of song. Like I'd say BTS does a lot of songs like this, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my first sort of immediate comparison, but I mean, obviously it's not fair to compare them to BTS, but I mean, just in terms of vocal intensity and emotion that you get out of the voices, it's just not there for me. It's just super flat in that sort of aspect. So that's why I probably wouldn't be able to pick out this song if I heard it again like sometime down the road. It's just that safe.
Yeah. Nothing stands out, and like I don't know, it just doesn't do anything like well enough to be like memorable. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. Next we have Follow Me, and I think this is definitely the standout song on the album. I liked this a lot more than the other two songs. I think the R&B style, like singing and beat, mixed with like the Eastern instrumentals, like is always like a really good combo. And I think their voices and their vocal style fit this song better too.
100%.
They definitely, and like you said with like same with like Rocket Punch, like with the like more like R&B style singing, you don't need to be as good at singing. And so like it doesn't stand out that your vocals are like as bad. Like I don't want to say they're bad because they're not bad, but they're just like you
don't need to belt like everything. Like
exactly. Like you don't need to showcase like your vocal talent in this type of song for it to sound good. But yeah, I just think both their voices and their vocal styles and just their skill level fit this type of song better. And I think just the song overall is just much catchier and more interesting than the other two songs. And I think it should have definitely been the single. I think they should have gone with something like this way better than like just the generic girl group song that they went with. So yeah, this was definitely the standout.
I think it might be. I think Sam said it in Sam, or one of our mods. She mentioned, she's like, oh, this is probably my favorite song between the two, like Rocket Punch and Fanatics, like in terms of B-sides. Then I'd be in agreement. I just love, because again, I feel like a lot of comparison with this to like Red Velvet's like Bad Boy type of sound. You know, you got that. Yeah, exactly. That's sort of what the signatures of those that song and this song are, just definitely the trap beats mixed with like the sort of retro 90s R&B sound. And again, they work here. Again, they probably aren't as vocally dynamic as a group like Red Velvet, but it works here. But I think the one thing that makes this song stand out a lot more, besides Next to Sunday and Remember, is they use the lower register. Like they're like follow me, follow. Like It's not like they're not trying to strain like to hit or they're not to the point of being soft spoken where you could barely hear their voices trying to hit those like high notes. Like they're actually using the full vocal range. It seems like more of a natural singing like sort of range for them, in all honesty. Like just I it sounds way more dynamic than either of those other two songs were. So yeah, I don't know why this was just buried as a B-side. It just seems way more interesting than Sunday or Remember will ever be for me. Yeah, this is definitely something they should build on. Also, I don't know if you noticed it, but one of the sound effects just threw me for a loop because it sounded like a Pokeball opening, from the anime. Like
really,
if you
I missed that.
Yeah, because one of like because after it'd be like like it sort of that sound.
Pop.
Yeah, the pop sound of when like a Pokeball opens after like one of the trap drums, and it just sort of stuck with me. Maybe that's why I like it, but I mean, I'd say more just because it's what I wanted from them vocally for the first two songs. So yeah it's the only song on this entire mini.
Fits them better.
Yeah, it's only the only song on this entire mini where they have pretty good singing, unfortunately.
Yeah. And finally, we have Milkshake, the Chinese version, which I don't understand why it's here, why it exists.
Yeah, I don't. But I tried looking up if FENT had any like Chinese like investors or if there was a Chinese company. Can't find anything.
Just random. They're just trying to get clout in China.
I guess maybe it's because they have the Chinese and the Taiwanese member. But I mean,
yeah. If they have the Chinese members, but like, it's just a weird inclusion because. If anything, you'd think there would be a Chinese version of the single, not of the subunit song.
The subunit song that originally only had half of them?
So does this have all 6 of them? I didn't really look into it.
I couldn't tell, honestly.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know their voices, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we talked about this releases, and this is just a Chinese version of it, but I don't think the song was really that great in Korean. I don't think this song makes it any better. I think it's similar to the same problem with their debut. I think it's the boring kind of repetitive, not catchy, like boring, annoying repetitive, not catchy repetitive. And once again, there's just too much, like their singing just needs work, especially in this song. There's a lot of that, like just like talk singing that's like very lifeless, and it's just like it doesn't help. Like you already were barely putting feeling in the singing before, and now it has no melody either. So like
you can get away with it if there's like really like impactful singing like paired with it, just because you have that contrast. But like the contrast is probably like this much between like the regular singing and the talk singing.
Like all of their singing sounds like that, except there's a melody, and now they took out the melody, and it just makes it stand out even more, like even worse. And I think the instrumentals for the song are uninspired and boring. It's just like the song was entirely a miss for me when it came out in releases, and this is just the Chinese version of it, so did not enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the instrumental, I'd say, was probably the only redeeming part of it. Again, it's just I feel like the vocals didn't sort of live up to how like fun-ish the instrumental is, because I do like it's like this like weird 80s like synth type of sound, and I love weird. It's kind of like, I don't know, just like I don't know, just like weird stuff. So yeah, I don't know. And I mean, I don't speak like Mandarin or Chinese or whatever, like despite like being like 1/4 Chinese, but I it doesn't take an expert to know that they're not that good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like some of it you can definitely, because Chinese is a really hard language because it's all about like intonation and everything, where like the way you pronounce words can completely change meaning to some degree. And that probably doesn't work if you're just kind of super monotone like with your singing. So I mean, Rob in our Discord, he knows Chinese. He mentioned it like right off the bat. He says, "Wow, he did not. He thought it was very poor, in terms of just execution." And I mean, hey, I mean, like I guess it makes sense. Like not everyone's Chinese, but. Yeah, I guess in that sort of way, I would have rather they made a full version or a 6-member version of Milkshake in Korean.
Yeah, just in Korean, it would make more sense.
As opposed to Chinese. I don't know. Yeah, this is. Yeah. I don't want to listen to this song again. I'm sorry.
No, yeah,
the Chinese version.
I mean, I wouldn't listen to any. The only song on this entire album I would listen to again is "Follow Me."
Follow Me, yeah, probably.
Just overall, the album wasn't that great. And like I feel bad complaining about like vocal skills, but like it's true. Like we're reviewing the music, and it's part of it. Like,
and that's kind of the most. I know, obviously, most people might be, like take fault with that, but again, I feel I mentioned before, I value sort of musical content a lot more than just standing people or whatever, or just visual aspects of K-pop. So that's why
exactly.
I need some substance with my style. Like there has to be something there for me.
Okay, so let's get to ratings, which sounds like it won't be that great, but for me, for music, I gave it a 3.5, which is honestly like...
Whoa.
I mean, it's really bad for me, because if you know me, I rate things very highly, and like I'm usually pretty lax on my scores. But yeah, just like I said just before this, like I would only listen to one out of these 4 songs again to Follow Me. And so like that right there is most of the points. And I gave them a couple, like a little bit extra here and there, because I don't think the songs are like egregiously bad, but they're not interesting. And it's just not something I would listen to again. So I gave it 3.5 out of 7 for music, and then I gave them a 1.5 for concept, because like we said, the music video it's just like whatever. I guess I said that. Well, so I said that this music video is better than Rocket Punch's music video, but this got a lower score. But that's because of choreography. Rocket Punch's score was almost entirely the choreography. Was very good. Where this is just like everything was just meh. It's like right in the middle. So like 1.5 out of 3. It's just everything was unremarkable. Nothing was egregiously bad, but nothing was interesting or notable. So they got right in the middle, 1.5. So I gave it a 5 out of 10. Not great. I still think people are arguing this in Discord if this was better than Momoland's last album, and I think it is. I gave Momoland's last album a 4 out of 10, so, and I think this is slightly better than it.
Okay.
But Momoland's last album had a couple good, like this, I mean, this had Follow Me. Follow Me was good, but Momoland's last album had some really egregiously bad parts and like really good parts, like it got more balanced out. This is more just like, it's whatever.
Yeah,
it's 5 out of 10.
I'd rather something be bad and memorable than bad and forgettable. If that makes any sense.
Or just forgettable in general.
Yeah.
Unremarkable.
I'm surprisingly lenient here in terms of scores, because you gave that's what total for you
I gave
again?
A 5 out of 10.
Yeah, so you gave a 5 out of 10 because my final score was 6 because I ended up giving 2 points for the single, and that's me being lenient because again I don't mind like the Sunday like chorus as much, just because that's probably the only part of the song I like if anything. And I gave 2.5 for the album, and like I feel like 2.5 is just most of that's based on how much I love Follow Me. Just because I didn't really count Milkshake as much, just because it's like a remake of the song, and it shouldn't really count.
I counted it because I was saying before like to Cooper, I counted it because I normally ignore Chinese versions of songs if they're on the
like
album,
different
but
versions
that's
or
when
remixes.
It's a different version of the song on the album. But for this, it's an actual unique song on the album, so I counted it.
Yeah.
Even if the song came out before in Korean, that version wasn't on the album.
Yeah.
So I rated it as a new its own song.
Yeah, so 2.5 again. That's me kind of being generous, just for how much I love. Oh, and maybe if I hopefully in hopes that they do something more like Follow Me. 1.5 concept. So yeah, pretty much the same idea as you. Just I can't even remember. I don't remember anything that happened in that music video, in all honesty. Nor can I really remember anything in terms of choreography. So 6 out of 10. Cooper was definitely the harshest of us. He gave it a 3 out of 7 for music, a 1 out of 3 for concept, which is a 4.
So 4. Which means we averaged to a 5.
Yeah, I did pretty easy math there, whole numbers. So, I mean, yeah. It's just, I mean, we don't mean to be mean. It's just especially the girl group market. The new girl group market is super stacked right now with just how many girl groups are coming out this year.
Yeah.
Like Passable.
And we've had some really good ones.
Yeah, like Everglow.
Everglow, yeah. Cherry Bullet.
It's
divisive. Most people enjoyed Cherry Bullet's debut. Yeah, Everglow, obviously everyone.
Yeah, so it's just like
that a lot. So
you really have to do something to sort of stand out in this sort of field. So yeah, I mean, hopefully,
does not.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's a victim of FENT, maybe might not have as much resources or that sort of thing, but. I just show me more effort in the second time around, and maybe I'll be like more receptive of it. But yeah, this don't half-ass things. Whole ass one thing. I guess is the summary of it. So, what did you think of Fanatic's debut? Do you like Sunday? Should they do something with more rapping? Who's your favorite member, and why is it Doa? I don't know. I guess Doa is just my de facto favorite or bias because she's the rap goddess, but
she's the person you actually know.
She's the person I actually know. That's true. So, let us know your thoughts on all this music, and I guess there's your outlook for the group in the comments below.
Mm-hmm. It's like how it defaulted to all the IOI members when they did branches, but then I've slowly changed my biases as I got to know the groups. Yeah. So Yeonjung was my bias in Yuju Sonyo until Luda, until I was actually paid attention to the group and
now it's Luda.
Found Luda. So yeah. My favorite comment was, "This is what happens when you get the pirated version of Red Flavor. you get this version instead."
Yeah, it's like you're on LimeWire trying to download the album. You end up with this, and you don't know. But even the music video is so low budget. I mean, I don't want to make fun of them too much because it's probably their